Alright, going live, and that should be us being live. Let me just see what the stream's looking like. I still need to figure out why YouTube is kind of unhappy with the stream health. I really don't know what that's about. It's something because my resolution is too high for the stream or bitrate or something. I don't know. Let's just have a look at the stream, manage streams. Stream looks alright. I'm not sure how to change any of the setting on the stream. The YouTube has made it so... Well, I shouldn't blame YouTube, it's really me. It's just me not being a streamer. Right, it is definitely streaming. Yeah, I'll make some new, like a title or... Not a title, thumbnail for the streams going forward as well. Because I think the thing looks a bit silly. Alright, is there anything else I can tweak on with the YouTube studio? Good evening, guys. Hello. I've got some interesting things that I saw with Containerlab. Ultra low latency does not support closed captions 140, well, 1440p and 4K resolution. Maybe that's what the stream is complaining about. Sorry if it looks like I'm mumbling to myself. Let's actually get some stuff going. So I'm just going to open up my VMware and power on this little bad boy. And there's some interesting things that I saw with the lab that we had going in the last stream, because I cloned it. So there's a separate state for when we last streamed, so I can keep the lab in the state that the stream was in, which is quite handy. But I realized that when I started up the nodes in Containerlab that it was missing some configuration, which was fun because I'm not sure some of the guys that was in the last stream, you might have remember we had like EVPN working. It was really cool. And then when I started up the lab again, EVPN was not working anymore. So I had to first troubleshoot that and kind of figure out why is this not working. And there was a few interesting bits that I saw, so it might be interesting just showing you guys what I actually saw when I did it. And I'm not sure if it's a me issue or if it's something with the MikroTik images with Containerlab, or if it's like a Containerlab quirk almost. Because I'd expect when I use Visual Studio Code, when you save the config, it's supposed to like store it inside that FTP boot. Inside Containerlab in that directory of your CLab file. Let me just open up the CLab file for the stream, and you'll see I actually aptly named it, if I can find it, CLab MikroTik-stream. So that is our Containerlab that we had the last time on the stream itself. Hey Lucille. So I'm just going to open this up. And it's basically just a bunch of MikroTik, so we can just deploy this. Deploy it. I think I did fix one of the things that didn't carry over because I kind of like just played around, but there's some other bits that was still broken. So I want to see if I can figure out why, even though I know how to fix it, I just want to check and see or explain like what is going on, because I found it very interesting. All right, Containerlab. Have you started up? You most definitely have. So let's quickly hop onto some nodes, because ideally what should happen is CE1 or MikroTik CE1 should be able to see MikroTik CE2 via the EVPN that we created on, what's it, PE1 and PE3. And that's what was broken. So let's quickly check if I can just jump onto terminal. Let's just go into that directory because it makes it easier to CLab MikroTik stream. We just do a CLab inspect. There's all our marker ticks. So let's just quickly SSH onto admin at clab-microtik04-mtkce01. So we just quickly log in. And if I do an IP neighbor print, I don't see my neighbor. And I know it has saved the config because there's the IP address 192.0.0.1 that I've added to the Ether2 interface that goes into the MPLS network, which is part of that EVPN instance. And in the previous stream, for the people that weren't here, that was working. I could see the remote MicroTik. I could ping it. The remote IP is actually 192.0.0.254. And if I ping it, just leave that running, but it's going to fail because we don't even see it in the neighbor. So why did that happen? Like, why is this broken? Why is it not working? So it led me down the rabbit hole to just quickly do some basic troubleshooting, you know, what most network engineers would do. Let's see if we can figure out what's wrong. So when I had a look, let's just open up another, I'll open up a few console sessions here, or RDP sessions, so or SSH sessions, I should say. So let's just SSH also to admin at, clab-microtik04-PE MTK-PE01, which is this PE01 here, which is what CE01 connects onto. It'll make sense how I've got the SSH window set up as well, because I'm also going to connect onto PE03, which is the remote PE, and then the remote CE as well. So it's kind of just these 4 devices, although the config is really just, well, it's technically on the whole MPLS network that we need to check, but the important bits is PE1 and PE3. So we're on PE1. Let's also just log on to PE03. Can I just up that? No. I can just copy paste it though. That's definitely an option. So let's just copy that. That's a little bit quicker to do. Although realistically, I probably would have been able to type that out already. So one of those things. And let's just log on to CEO2 as well. So MTK CEO2. So we're on the important bits. Now what's interesting to me is if I look on the PE01, if I look at the routing stuff, so if we go routing, route print, at the very bottom I can see there is some EVPN stuff we're learning, but it's not all of it. I mean, last time there was actually 4 entries, now we're just seeing 2 entries, and I just see an entry from I think 248 is the local MikroTik, if I remember. Let's just have a look. IP address print. No, 251 is PE1, and then 248 would be PE3. Did you try any Juniper in CLab? Yes, Morpheus. I have tried some Juniper in... Oh! Sorry, I'm like so silly. I sometimes forget to just zoom in. It's like a little issue that I usually have with with Linux. It's not an old people thing, don't worry. It's more of a issue with when you're streaming and creating videos on YouTube and stuff like that. That's why I like using terminals when I create videos on YouTube as well, because you can just zoom in a lot. Because a lot of times, and I just did the mistake, but a lot of times people will create YouTube videos and then they'll have like these high resolutions and you can't see anything. And I get how annoying that is. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for just reminding me. Did you try any Junipers in CLab? Yes, I have. And the Junipers that I have working in CLab is actually VMX and the Container Evo router, which the Container Evo router you can download for free from Juniper, but it's really more, it's a weird device, that, because it's more for your transit and your main like backbone and stuff like that. So it's really difficult to set up like Juniper funny labs because it's so resource intensive. I think I might have mentioned it in the previous stream. Or did I? I don't know. I built a lab in C-Lab using a bunch of the C-Evo routers, like a whole bunch of them, like 16 or something, and it completely crashed my machine. Like, it was so resource intensive, it just chowed all of my RAM and memory. My machine froze up, like my VMware crashed. I had to shut it down. Um, so I've learned a lesson that just because something is a container doesn't mean that it's like really minimalistic in its resource usage as well. It can still quite be very resource hungry. But I'm going off a bit of a tangent. Let's just have a look and see at this issue. Why can MicroTik CEO1 not see MicroTik CEO2? And to me, it's not an obvious answer because, hey, we're learning some EVPN routes. Like, we can see stuff. Even though I must admit the initial issue, and this is where it gets weird to me, is on the MicroTik P01, it's got this Ether 12 link going down to the route reflector. For some reason, when I saved the lab, it didn't save the link address to MicroTik P01. Like, this Ether 12, it didn't have an IP address on it. So the route reflector just never came up and it didn't work. So that was like the one issue that I fixed. And I've already fixed it in this lab, which is kind of, I could probably break it again. But what I want to explain is when I went into the configuration file, let's just have a look at it because I'll just open up another session for it just to show you guys the config files quickly. Because if we look at the files, whenever we run one of these playbooks or these YAML topology files with Containerlab, it creates like a little subdirectory, and this will actually have a bunch of different more subdirectories in it for each of our nodes that we've added. So there I can see MicroTik CO1, O2, PO1, PO2, all of the devices that's in the topology really. From the last stream, I remember the vSwitch was boycotting nested. Yes, and it still does. And the vRouter does the same thing. I've tried off stream to bring up the vRouter and it did the same thing. So nested virtualization, it does not like. I might even load Linux on on my bare metal machine as a dual boot operating system type of thing. You know, like you can dual boot, so you can choose Linux or Windows. So I might actually have Linux run on the metal itself. And then I think with C-Lab, it should actually work with the vRouter and vSwitch then. But with the nested virtualization, it's a bit of an issue for me. But again, the VMXs works fine. So I've tested some VMXs. But it's still weird for me because I know for a fact I had VEX running on EVNG and it was working just fine. So I don't understand. It's kind of weird because it's doing the same type of thing, but whatever. Maybe there was a special thing with EVNG to make it work. I don't know. The vRouter, I know I had issues with EVNG though, with nested virtualization. Sorry, I might have a few cough attacks because I am still a little bit sick, but I've been getting a lot better, which is the nice bit. So hopefully by the next stream I don't have any more like little cough things happening. So back on point, what I was trying to showcase to you guys is if I go onto MicroTik P01, we've got this FTP boot directory, and this is actually when we go into Containerlab and we run this little right click and we save our configs. It's saving the configs inside this FTP boot directory for that specific node. So if I have a look here, LA, there's a little MicroTik config.auto.rsc file in there, which is nifty. It's nice. And we can just have a look at that config file. And there we see it's all of the configuration. So you could actually use this file in the FTP boot directory as a startup config, maybe for a startup config as well. Or you could build some stuff off of it. But the point is, when I had a look here, I noticed, hey, this IP address was missing 10.0016/31. It was not on the P01. So route reflector wasn't working. Long story short, no route reflector. My two remote Ps wouldn't be able to learn these routes properly, so it wasn't going to work. So that was the first issue. But I fixed that, but we still have an issue. We still see that CEO1 and CEO2 can't see each other. So it led me down the rabbit hole that, hey, I don't know what I click now. I hope I didn't mess anything up. But it led me down the rabbit hole that, hey, maybe there's some more config that's missing. I did. What did I do? Graph? I have no idea what I'm looking at. This is new ground we're breaking through here. It looks like it created a little draw.io topology, which is quite interesting. This is the first time I've seen this. I can just close this. I guess it's nice that you can export the lab as a draw.io topology so that you can quickly use that as reference, or maybe if you're going to do like some presentation or something. That's quite handy. But I like this panel that I see here. This looks nice. This canvas looks nice. Oh, and I also got the Wireshark stuff working. And it was literally just as easy as you just right click on I think you just right click on one of the links, and then there's a little thing to do Wireshark, and when you click the interface, it immediately like downloads a Wireshark container, and now we're able to do packet captures on the interfaces, which is basically a paid for feature on EVE-NG Pro. And here we have it totally free. We can do packet capture and see exactly what type of packets are flowing through the network. But I'm going off a tangent again. We're supposed to be chatting about the config that I thought I was missing. So let's just stop this, close that. So I then just wanted to verify what's happening with my PO1, PO3. Is there any type of missing config? So let's just have a look quickly. Let's go back into our terminal window. Let's go on to the PO1. And from PO1, if I just do an export, we can see all of our configuration. And it looks like everything's there, right? If you just look offhand, it's like, hey, I can see there's a bridge. It's using the same PVID that I'm using from the Microtech documentation when I built the EVPN lab. The interface Ethernet is just default config loaded by the Containerlab. There we can see is an interface VXLAN. So it's referencing the bridge. It's got a bridge PVID. Learning no, because we've just got the single PE local address, so that's our loopback IP in this instance. The MAC address it filled in automatically, name automatically, and then a VNI, which we define as, what's that, like 100,040, which is fine. Then we've got our routing BGP instance, so AS lead. Like, that looks fine. I mean, the BGP stuff is fine because we saw that it was exchanging some routes with the route reflector. So we know BGP is up and running. OSPF instance, OSPF area, all this looks fine, right? So what is missing? There is something missing. And it's so obvious once you actually see it, but it's not something that I typically just look at when I'm, because eVPN is not something I do on Microtech. It's more like it's something I want, and it's definitely something they added, but they're still needing to add a lot more for it, and I hope they do. But let's see what is actually missing. So I think this IP neighbor discovery settings interface list all we added in the last stream as well to see if Winbox could pick up the neighbors on their MAC addresses. Unfortunately, it didn't. What's the IP addresses, the HTTP client, just the default route for internet. I think it's just on this device. I think the rest don't have any default routes out or anything. MPLS. So it came to me in a dream. So if I look at my interface bridge config, and this is actually where the issue is going to be. First I was just printing the bridge. I'm like, okay, there's a bridge, right? And then I look at the interface bridge port and I print this. And I can see, hey, there's the VXLAN interface that is actually being learned through BGP. It's dynamically creating a VXLAN interface and it's propagating that and adding it to the bridge and all that cool stuff that should be running. But then I wondered to myself, but there's something missing, because if I look at my topology, there is a VXLAN interface that I've added, which is like a logical interface almost. It doesn't. It's not a physical thing. It doesn't exist. But I'm bridging that with something. and I don't see that something else. And oh man, I was hoping the config from the previous stream was on here, but it's gone now, because I did have like a little notepad with the config. But no fear, let's just go on to the MikroTik documentation, because then it will make more sense, like what I see, what's missing. So if I go into, what's their new thing, manual.mikrotik.com, mikrotik.com, no, what was it? I could swear it was manual.mikrotik.com. There it is. And there it is, even the EVPN topic on the web page. Manual.mikrotik.com. Why didn't it accept it just now? I guess it doesn't really matter. If we just scroll down and we just look at the reference configuration, because that's exactly what I used. I just used this basic configuration example, and I just tweaked it for our lab. Like I changed the local address. Let's just do this. Let's just copy that into here. Can I zoom in a bit? No. I could swear you could zoom into this. Let's do it from the MikroTik docs then. Let's just zoom in. So what's interesting to me is when we copy the configuration, we have an interface bridge configuration, which yes, we do. But if I scroll down, as it's literally the next line, there's an interface bridge port, which is statically defined as well. And if I go back onto my MikroTik P01 and let's just export the bridge configuration, interface bridge export. It's just got interface bridge there. It's got nothing about the interface bridge ports. And if we look at the documentation, it was bridging the port going down to the client, which is, it's going down to a CE. And if we look at the topology, that would be Ether 12. Why did the topology get all small like that? So Ether 12 is in theory going down to our MikroTik C01 from PE01. And it's the same at P03. Ether 12 goes down to CO2. I don't see that config that bridges Ether 12 into that same bridge that's being used by the VXLAN. So I already know that's an issue. So interesting enough, all I did was, let's just go back to the configurations. So let's just go up one, go up one. Let's just cd into MikroTik PE01. Go into the FTP boot directory. And if I cat this startup config, that it's when you right click and you save the config, it's going to be the same. That's what's on the MikroTik. But what's interesting is, where is it now? There's the interface bridge. I don't know, it looks so different now again. Because I could swear it still had interface bridge and then port, but it didn't have anything after that. Let's just grab bridge. Bridge one. Alright, so that's the EVPN. So, I don't know. I'm going crazy but that's probably maybe when I was fixing it, maybe I saw it there. Needless to say, all that we need to do is just add the interface to the bridge again. So all that I'm going to do is jump onto, well, I can do it from the command line, but let's open up Winbox as well, since we all love Winbox. It's such a useful tool. So Winbox, Linux, open you up. And I'll connect onto Ramon 172.20.20.11. Admin, that's the default with this. So if I jump onto PE01, zoom in a bit. Right, that should be fine. So go to our bridge, go to our ports, and then it's literally just simple as this. We find the interface that's going to the customer, add it to the right bridge, And do I have to set the PV ID? I do think I need to set the PV ID, which is 4T in our instance. So let's just okay that. And I'm just going to do the same thing on PO3, but that I'll just quickly do from the command line. So let's just jump onto PEO3, which is this guy. So interface, bridge, port, export, nothing there. Interface, bridge, port, add interface equals ether 12. And our bridge is bridge 1, and our PV ID is 40. Alright, so that should be it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back onto one of the CEs. Let's just up arrow and see the ping first thing. Let's just see. Wicked. Ping's working. So we know, hey, we got our connectivity restored, IP neighbor print. We're seeing the remote MarketTick. We're learning its MAC address as well. And we could even do a little MAC ping, because MAC ping is so cool. That's like, you know, one of the coolest things that MarketTick can do. I mean, we could even do tool, what's it, is it MAC telnet? And we can just MAC telnet to the MAC address. I really love MarketTick. That is so cool. But anyway, so that fixes EVPN for us. But now the interesting part is what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the config. And we're just going to reboot it. Let's redeploy it. So I can just do a redeploy, or I can do destroy and just do it again. So just redeploy it again. So MarketTick Lab 01. And this is what gets me. Because I'm pretty sure that config is still not going to load. It's just going to break. And I don't know if... I know how to fix it because I've been manually doing it just by going into that FTP boot directory and just adding the missing config myself. But I wonder what triggers it to not save the config. We'll see in a minute. So if I'm on MarketTick PO1, I'm gonna disconnect obviously because the Winbox session would die anyways. So 172. One 7 2 20 2011. There's our one MarketTick. There is our PO1. Let's connect, and it's gone again. It's not there. It's just vanished. So that's interesting. I don't know what you guys think about that, but to me that's very interesting that the config just kind of like doesn't properly get saved. And it will save some things. I can make alterations to other things in the topology and it might save it, and in this instance it didn't save it properly. But let me just show you how I've been manually fixing that. So in Containerlab, all I'm going to do is head into that FTP boot directory, and then I can just edit that file. I could probably edit it from Visual Studio Code as well. But I'll just do it from here. So if I enter here, I'll just add another bit, interface, bridge, port. And we'll add the interface is ether 12, BVID is 40, and bridge equals bridge 1. So that is on PO1. Oh, so let's go on to MarketTick PE03. Going to the FTP boot, and let's quickly go on to that config file and do the same thing. interface bridge port add interface equals ether 12 pvid 40 bridge equals bridge 1. Save that. And let's... Ooh, I don't know why I'm doing that. So all I'm going to do now is just same thing. Destroy the lab, deploy the lab, and the config should stick now. Let's just try the shortcuts. Control-Alt-D. No, it did not do what I wanted it to do. Alright, let's see. It should boot up. Let's just see if I can connect via Winbox. And now I'll have to open this up again. Let's go to 2020-11. Connect to Roman. Okay, come on. I want to get in there. That's possible. Could be some interface naming virtualization issue because I've always had different. Yeah. I think you could be right. I mean, this is just one of those things you need to keep your eyes open for. Otherwise, if you just built a startup config and just smack it onto the startup config, it should take it properly every time as well. Alright, so let's see, marketing PO1. And there we go. So there's our interface on the right bridge. And if I go back onto this, although it would have disconnected me, but let's just reconnect. Oh, that's so cool when you up arrow, it's just like showing you what CLab was doing as well. Anyway, so I do an IP neighbor print. I'm not seeing that address yet. Let's just check ping 192.00254. Timing out, maybe I made a small mistake, or it could just be it's still busy doing its core network stuff, like the BGP coming up and exchanging the routes properly. Quickest way to do the check here is just to go onto that route reflector. So let's just do a CLab inspect. Inspect. If I can spell it. Okay, there we go. CLab inspect, wrong directory. So RR, although the naming convention should always kind of be the same. It's always going to be CLab dash and then whatever the name is of your topology dash and then whatever the name of the node is. It's actually so easy if you think about it. So let's just SSH onto the route reflector. Routing route print. So the routes aren't up. Did it not save the IP address now? IP neighbor print. What this? Hang on a second. I know for a fact I had it fixed. Let's have a look at that FTP boot. Because that is interesting. If it's like reintroduced the bug that I had before. And for that I need to go into the marketing PO1. So let's just SSH admin at, what's it, CLab dash microtik 04 dash mtk PO1 admin. IP address print. The IP address is gone. It's driving me bonkers. Why is it removing the IP address when I save it? What is this? Because you guys saw me like just deploy the lab again, and the IP address was there because obviously the stuff just came up, and I explained like the whole scenario at the start. Like the IP address was the first thing I was missing, which caused the route reflector not to come up properly. So watch, all I'm going to do is add the IP address back again. IP address add address 10.00.16/31 interface ether. I think this is ether 12 as well. Yes. So watch. So silly. Now we can see the IP. Let's see if our routes come up. It should come up. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time for everything to just kick into life, like a few seconds. There we go. OSPF's come up. And with OSPF coming up, we can see the BGP stuff come up. So there's our EVPN. So if we go back to our client, we can see ping started responding the moment that was fixed. Now what's interesting to me is I'm pretty sure I already fixed it in the FTP boot file. So why did it break is a good question. So let's just go back into CLab MikroTik 04. Let's go into the MikroTik P01. That is also a good point. Config could be allergic to Ether 12 or so many virtual NICs on one device. That is actually a good point. Because it seems to be mainly affecting the Ether 12 stuff, where I've had it now be removed from a bridge port config, and the IP address just vanishes. Let's just see. There you see the config like is erased after I save it. And I just quickly want to navigate to my normal one, CLab MikroTik, and what's this MikroTik? CLab MikroTik 04. And if we go in, so this is the alternate version without the stream where I figured it out to fix it as well. So MikroTik P01. Go into this FTP boot and let's cat this file. And this file has the IP address. It is there. Sorry, I'm going to do something strange. I'm just going to destroy this lab. I'm going to deploy the other lab, and then I'm going to do a save configs. And then I want to see if it removes that config from the save configs. Like if you save the config through Visual Studio Code. So let's open up that file quickly. So CLab MikroTik, just open up the YAML file. And let's deploy this. And once this is deployed, I'm just going to make like one random change, save it, and see if it erases that config again. And then we'll test out and see if it is this Ether 12 theory maybe, because then I'll just move it to like another interface, maybe like Ether 5 or 6 or something, and then see if it's happier with that. I just find it interesting because it's definitely we're breaking something. But it's good to, you know, just figure stuff out. I like it to just figure stuff out. So I just want to check something with the stream itself quickly. If I can figure this out. So I'm just on the YouTube Studio. All right. I still wonder why it's like bugging me about the stream. How is it to run Containerlab, and does it work like EvenG where you have to download and set up MikroTik images? So that's a good question, and some of the previous streams will definitely show you how easy it is to set it up. But rest assured, I'm actually going to make a video dedicated to Containerlab, just showcasing how to quickly install it, because it is really simple. I've brought up a fresh Ubuntu VM, and once I brought up that Ubuntu VM, I literally, like, there's two things I had to do. The one thing was to just install Docker, which is a few easy steps that you just follow with the Docker documentation. And then after Docker is installed, there's just like this one bash script that you can get from the Containerlab website, and you just paste that in, and it literally, like, it's so quick. It does everything for you, brings up Containerlab, and from that moment you can do what I do. Like with Visual Studio Code, there's a special extension that makes you bring up your topology so they look like this, and you can, it's very easy. And to be fair, it's a lot easier to bring up the images in Containerlab for me personally. But there is a bit of a caveat as well, like you need to clone a separate fork of VRNetLab, which is what allows Containerlab to also virtualize or containerize certain virtual machines, like our CHR, so that you can bring them into the topology. Because if I look at my Docker images, you'll see I'll have this VRNetLab MikroTik router S, and this is the latest build of router S, but it was really quick and easy to also just create an image of this and bring up a lab, so to speak. Anyways, let's just quickly go back to this topology, because I just want to make one simple change somewhere. Let's just SSH into this. See, I can even, man, I thought I could, but apparently I cannot. Why is it being difficult? CD, CLab inspect. That's nice. I tried installing using EvenG and MikroTik, and I was stuck. I was using it in Oracle VirtualBox VM. So, were you using the x86 images, or did you try using CHR on EvenG? Because I do think it's a lot easier to use CHR on EvenG, and CHR is even what we're using with Containerlab as well. And it will give you the same functionality. I think the nice thing about a x86 image is it's more like you can load it on a physical bare metal device as well and turn it into a router. Like a lot of people turn their old computers into a router and stuff. But CHR is really straightforward to also deploy. Yeah, I definitely, I think, I don't blame MikroTik for it, but if you go onto their website, mikrotik.com, because I've mentioned this in a previous stream as well, but if you look at like the software downloads, on the old website, because they've changed websites recently as well, they've changed a few things, but there used to be router OS architecture, and you used to see the CHR here, and now we just see the x86 with all of the other architectures. Whereas there's now a dedicated tab at the very top where you find your CHR images, and CHRs is typically what you want to use for your virtual networks or in the cloud and stuff like that. I see. Alright, but definitely CHR is definitely what you want to try and use, and it's really straightforward to bring up in Containerlab as well. Alright, so back to this. Can I get onto any of these MikroTiks? Let's just do a CLab. CLab inspect. Alright, these guys show that they're up and running. Let's just see, can I connect onto... Let's just connect onto RRO2. I don't even think I've got anything configured on there. So SSH admin at... admin... So I don't even have the IP address assigned yet. So let's just add IP address, add address. Go on to the topology. What is that? 10.00.14, so this would be 15. 10.00.15 slash 31 interface ether 2. Should be ether 2. Yeah, but that's another important thing to note with Containerlab. You are also you use ether 2 onwards. Ether 1 is kind of reserved as a management port almost for Docker. So that's also another interesting bit with labbing CHR on Containerlab. Man, I hate this dry cough. And I think it's also makes it a little bit worse that I've got I've got like an air conditioner in the office as well. Because it's been so hot these last few days, and this air conditioner does help, but it dries out the air so much as well. Okay. So if I save the config on here now, I've lost the panel now. There we go. So let's save the configs. Configs is saved. And let me just showcase that it does work in this environment as well. So if I go into mtk CEO1, IP neighbor print, does it? Did something else break? Did it already remove the ports as well? 192.0.0.254. I could swear I had it working. This is so frustrating. Let's just go into the P01. Export that. The P01 doesn't even have any config. What the Hang on. Bad dry cough there. So somehow it didn't even save the configs from when I rebuilt this. Man, this is so weird. So all of the config is just kind of like wiped off of MarketTech P01. That is a pity. I need to... Because the only thing, and it's not really an issue, it's just going to make me, whenever I finish with the configs, I'm probably going to save the configs in my own configuration file that I can use as a startup config in case. Because to me, like, this seems a bit silly that I'm losing the configs. Because all I'm doing is clicking save config. Is that wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Let's go on to the Containerlab documentation and see what do they say. Da, da, da. Configuration management. Okay, so the startup config is straightforward. It just takes whatever startup file you have. Does it have anything here regarding the FTP boot? No. FTP boot. So, node configuration. MicroStick router is nodes come with a basic blank configuration. Only the management user interface is defined. User-defined config. It's possible to make ROS nodes to boot up with a user-defined startup config. Alright, that I know. When a user starts a lab, Containerlab creates a node directory for storing configuration artifacts. For MicroStick router is kind, Containerlab creates an FTP boot directory where the config will be copied as a config auto RSC. So I just want to find the bit where it actually says how you are saving your config. Else I might jump onto the Discord as well. Because it is that simple, right? It's literally just right click your lab and click on save config, and that's supposed to push it on that FTP boot directory. That's how I understand it, at least. And I'll admit I've only ran into this with Marketing so far. So I'm going to destroy. Well, it doesn't matter if I destroy it because it boots up with an empty config anyways. Or does it? Man, I should have checked something first. Let's just cd into clab mycritic 04, cd mtk pe01, cd ftp boot, cat the config file, and the config file is empty. Did it do the same for the other devices though? Let's just see. PO3. PO3 is also empty. Maybe something broke because I've cloned the same Containerlab stuff and it's the same Containerlab name, or for the topology. I don't know. Because I've obviously got empty nodes now. They don't even they don't have any config at the moment. Let's just cd into one more thing, maybe the Mycritic RR01. Cat config. No. Alright, so I'm just going to assume that me having the multiple lab files somehow caused an issue, but I know I fixed it in this clab-mycritic, because I literally just copied this as clab-mycritic-stream. So let's go back into that, clab-mycritic stream, and let's clab deploy this. Is the other one still deployed though? No, it's not, so we can just deploy it. And I'm kind of worried, so let's just quickly jump onto this clab-mycritic 04, go onto mycritic P01, go onto the FTP boot, and it is missing the IP address again. And the question is, $1,000,000 question, is it going to miss the configs on PE01 with the interface bridge? No, that's still there. That is still there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually test just by moving some of this config to from Ether 12 to Ether 6, save it again, and hope everything sticks this time. And I might just ignore that other clab-mycritic folder for a while. So let's go up. So I should be able to just get onto, what's it, clab-mycritic 04-mtk PE01. So I'm just going to need to convert some of the config. So there's our bridge port. So I'm just going to move all the stuff to Ether 12. But when I move it to Ether 12, I also need to update the topology file for Containerlab. So let's just do an interface bridge port set interface equals. Let's just print it. So that's number 0. Set interface. Let's make it either 6. And that is going to be that. And I'm going to have to do the same on PEO3, which is fine. Let's just quit, go on to PEO3, admin, paste that in, interface bridge port print, so that's fine. Was there anything else? Export. Where? Or let me just grab this all. And pop that in here. Do I have Ether 12 anywhere else? No, it was just that one bit of config, so that's fine. So I fixed that. And then I want to do the same for quit. I want to go on P01. And it's missing the IP address, so let's just add IP address, add address equals 10.0.0.16/31 on Ether 6. And that should be it. Although there's another bit, I need to add the OSPF config as well, so routing OSPF interface template edit interface, or edit 0 interfaces, and I'm just going to add Ether 6 on the interfaces. So that should be fine. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll head back into here. Do you have any experience with local proxy ARP? My bridge keeps getting disabled every once in a while because of it, but I want to keep it for firewalling filtering purposes. So honestly, I don't, but I'm sure we could spin up some lab stuff as well. Sorry if I sometimes like stare blankly onto the right, so that I can find the mute button, so I can just cough quickly. So what I want to do is just quickly save the config. So it showed it saved it. And there we can see it saved it in the config.auto.rsc. Let's just verify it quickly because we can actually check it. So let's quit out of here. Let's go on to CLab, Marketing 04. Let's go on to Marketing P01. Going to the FTP boot, and let's just cat that. And there is the IP address, so it did store it on Ether 6, which is fine. So I'm going to destroy the lab. And then before I deploy it again, I just need to update these, which is quite easy to do. We might be able to just do a replace with Ether 12 to Ether 6. So let's just see MikroTik P01, that's fine. MikroTik P02, that's fine. Alright, so let's save that. And let's deploy it again. And after I've deployed it, I'm going to break it again. And then save it again and see if it's actually saved the lab in the state that it's supposed to be in. So most importantly, we're still in the FTP boot drive. Let's just cat the file. We still have our IP address, which is good. And let's just go on to MikroTik PE01. And same thing, I just want to see, do we have our interface bridge port? There's our VXLAN, there's our bridge. Where's the bridge port? There we go, there's the interface bridge port with Ether 6, which is good. This is more promising. Maybe you were right about Ether 12 being a bit weird. Although I'm still very weirded out with that whole other lab being broken. So let's have another look-see. Lab is back up and running. Let's see if we can winbox on quickly. Let's jump onto 172.20.20.11, connect to ROM on. Find our PE01, connect to you. That looks fine. Right. Let's jump onto the CE01 quickly. Admin. Quickest way to check if it's actually working, IP neighbor print. We've got neighbors, which is good. Exactly what we want. Paste that. Okay, that's working. Beautiful. Beautiful. Things really good. It's nice to see that. I wouldn't recommend doing like the interval like that. I'm just doing it because I'm in a virtual topology and I know the latency is quite low between these devices. Because if I do something like 10 ms, we're going to see like timeouts and stuff, and we know there isn't actually really timeouts or anything. So not something I would do like in a real network to test it and see if there's packet loss or something. I might do something like 100 ms in a real network, and then that's a good gauge. If you want to pick up if there's some intermittent loss, like in quicker intervals. Okay, that's cool. So let's add some config, save it again, and see if anything breaks, because that's kind of my concern right now. So I'm on a CE. I mean, I can just add an IP on the CE. IP address. Address 1111 on Ether 3. IP address print. Okay, so there we can see. Nice. I'm gonna destroy the whole internet's DNS right now. I'm gonna save it, and everybody in the world's not gonna be able to get to 1111. It's gonna be crazy. So let's save that. Okay, let's have a look. Well, I just saved it. I haven't actually deployed the lab again yet, so let's just quickly check our config file. Oh, I could just cat it from here, I guess. Cat MTK CEO1 FTP boot. Yeah, it's saved the IP, so far so good. So let's destroy you. And let's deploy you. I could have just done a redeploy as well. Would have worked just as fine. Just have a look. Stream looks okay still. Pretty good. Alright. So, back to here. It's still got that config in there, which is good. Broken pipe, that's good. So export this. Question is my bridge still there? Yes, it is. That's perfect. On my PO1, if I export this, do I still have the IP address? Strangely enough, well, no, it's not strange enough. It's the same IP. It's just the interface updated, which is good. So that's fine. If I log onto my RR01, is my routing routes learning the right routes? Yes, it is. All my EVPN routes that I'm expecting is there. So technically, this is the first redeployment that I'm fairly happy with. Although I did have it working on the other one as well, which I still find a bit strange. IP neighbor print. Ping 192.00254, interval 25 ms. Cool. We can get across. Everything's working. Now that's good. That is good. I'm happy with that. So the question is, why? Why does it break? All right. So is there anything else that's fun that we could do in this topology? I'm thinking about just spreading things out a little bit. So I might add a couple of more CEs as well. And then each other CE might just connect with different services, just to make it a little bit more interesting. We've got EVPN working, which is nice. Because I'd also like to just do like a few other layer 2 things. Maybe just like plain VPLS. Maybe, what's the thing Marketing does? Man, I'll have to look at the interfaces. EOIP, that's it. So EOIP tunnel, just do that as well. That's also quite handy to use in Marketing. Or maybe just some layer 3 VPN stuff as well. Or on my P01 or O2, it doesn't matter. I might even do it on both. Get some external autonomous systems, but kind of like emulate internet stuff as well. And then we can use fantasy routes to inject a ton of external routes to our autonomous system and play around with that. Because a lot of times I think people also want to know like how to do like the route filtering properly on Marketing with BGP. It's not even just Marketing, to be completely honest. A lot of people, myself included, there's so much that you can do with your route filters and your communities and how you can manipulate BGP. That's why it's such a powerful and strong protocol. Like people don't know, it's really so useful. You can tweak so much inside of it and make things go whichever way you want it to go. Or another interesting thing is I could also try and just change out OSPF inside this topology. Ooh, sorry. For something else, maybe like ISIS. even though that's also still just hidden inside the command line with MikroTik. And I don't think they've really changed it much. Let's go into their manual. I just want to have a look. There's IS. IS is still under our unicast protocols. Okay, these are some basic I think this is the same configs they had since they implemented it back in the day. That is fine. Do they have the like that protocol map thing almost that they have on the docs that shows what MikroTik is like good with so far? Let me just see if I can open it up. It's docs.mikrotik.com/help. Is it? Was it help? No, it's the other way around. See, I'm dyslexic. I swear I am. Help.mikrotik.com/docs. Yes, that's it. Where is it? Routing protocol overview, maybe? Yes. Is this, but this has also been moved. This didn't used to be here. I swear it didn't used to be called unicast routing protocols. It used to just be called routing protocols or something. They did add a wizard. They did add a wizard. The wizard's really cool, actually. I've added a few filters using the wizard, and it's really straightforward. I think it helps a lot of people. Because I think the hardest part with the route filters now, and it's very similar to like how Juniper stuff works, it's very script-like, so it's just put in your specific things and just make it work. So if I go into the docs, where's this unicast? Man, I swear I just had it. Routing protocols, network services. Routing and network protocols. Okay, so the names are also different. So there we've got unicast routing protocols. I wonder if there's still people using like ROS v5. Wonder what it's like, if that's still a thing. Although v6 was around forever. And v7 has been around for, what, 6 years now? Crazy. Crazy. One thing that's interesting to me with, well, it's not really interesting, but my MikroTik certificates expired this month as well. So I need to see if I can make a plan to get recertified again. It's usually pretty straightforward if you recertify though. Since COVID happened, they let you like recertify online with a trainer. I'm hoping that's still the case because it was really convenient to just like book a exam day with like a proctor almost, and they just sit in with you for until you quickly write your exam and done and dusted. All right, route protocol overview. So I just want to see what do we still have issues with? What is MikroTik not good with? Addresses from same subnet to multiple interfaces. Show time when route was last updated. I mean, that's not really too much of an issue. Check gateway. BFD not ready. And then it's just, what color is that? Man, these glasses make it so difficult to see. Yellow? Is that yellow? That kind of looks like brown to me or something. I guess it looks yellow because of, or brown because of the black background. But BFD is ready. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll check out the Network Perks YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. No, but to be fair, I do enjoy Marketing certification probably the most from all the vendors. Even when I went for my first MTCNA like class or something, because it's very hands-on, you know. If you've done it before, it's you sit. It's very short, to be fair. It's really a boot camp. Um, but I find the more hands-on approach a lot more enjoyable, and I really enjoyed like when you did the exam. It treats you like an adult, and I think you were even allowed to go into the marketing documentation and you know cross-reference things, where most vendors are so they're still doing their certifications like it's early 2000. It's most of it's multiple choice and just I mean marketing's also multiple choice to be fair, but it's giving you like a way to properly research your issues like any normal sane person would. Whereas Cisco, you do the exam and then you can mark a question, you can go back to a question, but the moment you click submit to that question, it's gone forever. And if you second guess yourself afterwards, it's like pointless because you can't go back to it to fix the thing that you were maybe uncertain of. And for some people, it can bug them to an extent where they just struggle too long on a question because it might be a difficult question. Now you're sitting 20 minutes thinking about one thing and you've wasted like half the exam's time, where you could have just skipped to the next questions and you know done the stuff that's a little bit easier. Packet source address does not work correctly with /32 addresses. Interesting. What's still red? OSPF SNMP monitoring. Interesting. What else is red? BGP multipath and addpath. Okay, so that's been added. BGP confederation. That's been added, but so few people use BGP confederation. BGP aggregation. ORF. I don't even know what that is. ORF. BGP ORF. Discord prefix RTBH. RFC 6666. AS wide unique BGP identifier. Okay, so that's been added. So where's actual issues? This might be an issue. RSVP fast reroute. Oh, that a lot of people like that. FRR, RI, RSVP, so that's red. Route filter, add a prefix to address list. I think let's just add a couple more things onto the apology. I really wish that thing was here on Containerlab that I showed a video in the last stream where you can literally unlock the lab and you can just drag your templates into the canvas and add links and stuff directly. It's so cool to see that. So I'm gonna have to redeploy the lab, and it's gonna be interesting to see if I maybe break something with the lab again. So let's just go into the YAML file, add a couple more CEs. So I might add 4 more CEs. Yeah, let's add 4 more CEs. Although technically I could do all of this stuff just using the 2 CEs. But it'll look less pretty, so let's add them all. So CE 03, 04, 05, 06. We're going to have ROM on enabled by default with my startup configuration. And again, that's kind of the nice thing with Containerlab. We can specify startup configuration, because if I just go onto my startup configs, if I cat, what's it called, init or something, mtk init. I don't remember adding that. And this GE address is definitely... Okay, this is from a Juniper. This is definitely from a Juniper, the startup config. The tool Romon, that's fine. That it will take. But the rest is not going to take. So I think I just quickly want to... Well, let's just change it with Visual Studio Code. It'll make more sense to just do it through here. So let's go into our startup config. So these bits, bad for us. We don't want them. I'm just going to crush them. We can just save that. Close it. And then boot it again. Maybe those startup configs was like mashing the brains out in this MikroTik somehow. Anyways, back to the topology file. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to decide how do I want to connect them quickly. So let's do unevens on the left, evens on the right. So 3 and 5 on the left. So I'll make 3 go on to PE1. Okay. I might actually delete the link going from MikroTik CE1 to PE2 and PE4 on the other side, because at the moment this EVPN, I don't even think it does like multi-link stuff. Not with MikroTik, I don't think so. I've seen them showcase it works with the Arista stuff, but I'm not sure this will work. So let's remove those links. And then the CE3 and 4, I'll give dual links. Reason being is I want them to kind of have failover scenarios. And then we can have 5 and 6 have a single link to PE2 and PE4, and that can just be like VPLS and EOIP and all that stuff. That sounds like a good plan. Or I could just make a separate lab. Same stuff, different CE. And just call it, you know, like layer 3 VPN lab or something like that. So same core network, just different. But it feels a bit nicer if I just have everything on the same canvas. So just for the stream, I'll put it on the same canvas. But if I ever like share the topologies, I'll probably just have a dedicated thing like this is for your EVPN, this is for your, you know, your L2 VPN type of stuff. Why do I keep clicking that? It's so silly. What did I want to do? Go on to here, add a few more links. But I did say MikroTik so no Ether 12s, sorry for the yawn. So PEO2 is going to go into CE03 on Ether 2, which is fine. Then there should be a PEO4. So PEO4 is going to go on to MikroTik CE04 on Ether 2. So that's just going to move these links to their own CE. Then I still want PE. I still want PeO2 better than IPv8. Man, IPv8 it angered a lot of people. It was funny to see, even though it was the most BS nonsense, like cooked up by some AI in a fever dream. But it spread like wildfire. Like on LinkedIn, so many people were like posting about it. It was so interesting to see. I'm still going to do PO2. I hope Ether 7 doesn't break anything. Because that is going to go onto... Actually, I wanted it to be PO1. Yeah. PO1 on Ether 7 goes on to CE03 on Ether. Well, that can actually be Ether 2. That one can be Ether 3. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom. Let's do MikroTik 04 Ether 3. And then PO3 on Ether 7 goes to CO4 on Ether 2. Network Berg. Is this that tool where you program a topology and it creates it? Yes, it is. This is Containerlab that we're using. And in the stream, I showed a few. So, sorry, I've got sorry, I got a slight bit of a cough still going on. But at the start of the stream, like there was some weird stuff that we saw, like it wasn't saving configs properly, and I'm not still convinced. Like I know why it was doing it, but so far it's been working fine. So I'm just going to continue. I'm just building a few more extra devices in the topology, and then we're going to test a few more things out, hopefully. So I've got dual links to my CE, what's it, 3 and 4, and then I just want 5 and 6. Thank you for all the videos over the years. Great channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. So last bit is going to be Ether or PE 2 and 4 going to CE 5 and 6. So let's do one more PE2, and that is going to be its Ether 7. It's going to go on to CE5 on Ether 2. And then the last one is going to be Ether or PeO4 on its Ether 7. And I'm going to connect you onto CeO6 on Ether 2. That should be it. So I'm going to save it, and we're just going to deploy the topology. I do have to destroy the old one though, so let's just destroy that. And let's deploy the new one. And let's see, does it bring everything up? So far so good. It's given me all my CEs. And the interesting thing is my CEs, can I see them on Romon? I should be able to, because everything is got Romon enabled because of the startup configs. Let's disconnect. 172.20.20.11, connect to Romon. Right, getting some Teams messages. Let me just quickly have a look. See. Host unreachable. I think we're just waiting for the stuff to start up. There we go. Connects to Romon. Do we see all these CEs? Yes, we do. CE3, 4. I might be connected to CE5 now, and then CE6. Very nice, very nice. I'm happy with this. And the interesting bit is if we go onto our file, we're just gonna have to reorganize stuff quickly. So I'm just gonna unlock the lab and move things around. I'll keep that bit there, but I'm gonna move this to its own thing because that's now an EVPN thing. Just give me a sec, I just wanna mute my laptop next to me. There we go. It's just so I don't hear like Teams pop-ups and stuff. So CO1, CO2, that's our EVPN stuff. Then let's do, what's that, CO5 can go down here. And CO4 goes over there. Maybe I'll just move that stuff a bit. Just to make it look a bit interesting. It could be. It could be an abstract 4D shape. I don't know if you've seen that video of that kid explaining like what a 4D shape could look like. And it's like explaining a tesseract and all that stuff. And that's really interesting. That kid's really smart. He's smarter than what I am, that's for sure. And it really makes you think like, whoa, it will melt your brain just thinking about what a 4D shape looks like. Alright, that looks good. That looks good. Let's just move 06 as well. Wonder why this one link is like this. Let's just go out, go back in. I've seen weird things like where it doesn't properly show the link. But it is actually running. Oh cool, if I click it, it's got like a little traffic graph as well, that's nice. Let's just see if I SSH onto it from here. Well, I know this is difficult to see, I just want to quickly see if is there IP neighbor. Yeah, okay, so it is working, it can actually see it, it is actually up and running. Man, maybe I need to make myself like a tea with some honey in it. Okay. So top EVPN. Let's just grab... Oh man. I think you can't duplicate shapes while they are... while a lab is running. So I might actually destroy the lab. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Because I'm using the shortcut key to duplicate that shape. And while the lab's running, you can't do it. But if I do Control D, because it was freaking me out, because I asked even somebody on the Containerlab Discord channel, hey, how do you like quickly duplicate objects? Because if you want to make your lab look nice, because adding, you know, if you come in here, you go to the annotations and dragging and dropping text the whole time, and it's really slow. But duplicating it makes a lot of sense, because then you can just quickly duplicate the text and just repurpose it or rename it or whatever. And I found out, hey, you can't, I don't know why it's keeping that one thing selected now, but you can only duplicate things if the lab is unlocked, obviously, but also if the lab is not running. But that's been my experience. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let's edit the shape. Colorful, I won't do any colors. Maybe I'll just do like a little dash line, sorry. Maybe if I click the colors, I swear there should be something that you know, like a color code window pop-up thing almost, because you look, I'm moving the mouse around and it's changing the color, but I can't see what the color is. So I might just have to like Google color code for red or something. Oh, and it's important you need to click apply. If you don't click apply, it doesn't save whatever you've done with the annotation. Let's just move that up a bit. Although it's going to mean that the line isn't straight anymore. But in my head I had an idea where I'd just extend it like this. And then obviously that's like a layer 2 VPN or tunnel. Maybe I can just move it up there. And that would make more sense. Like, I don't know, does it actually make more sense? Or will it make people think, hey, that's a different... Or will it make people think, hey, that's like the same, like, location, like bowling, like, place? Oh. I'm just gonna do that. And we could just call this EVPN. And I probably should have copied this color code. Copy that. Paste that in there. Save that. What other texts do we have? What other fonts? Well, it's pretty basic ones, but it's fine. I don't know if that makes sense. It does to me. And then the bottom I might just do something similar, like duplicate the same shape, but just maybe make it a different color. There's good. Okay. Guess I'll just move it like that then. Change the color to something else. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, or if it's maybe something with my version of Ubuntu that doesn't like this. Because I would really think it's like if you go into like any paint software, like GIMP or something, there's like a little, you know, that circle with the different colors in it. Let's just find like a dark red color code. That should be it. Does CLab allow connections to the internet? So, sort of. So what I found is, I'll start up this lab in a minute and show you, but you can get to the internet through the Docker network as well. But it is obviously like some type of NAT or something that happens. Let's just call this VPLS. Which background? This. This is like the default Linux background, I guess. Let's just quickly. Or are you talking about my normal Windows background, which is like, I think it's Evangelion, with the 3 Evas standing there, and just like looking menacing. 8B0000. Let's just try that. 8B00. There we go. That's it. Alright, so let's quickly start up the lab again. And then I'm gonna be like a maniac and see if my configs are still saved, but just making sure that CE1 can get to CE2 over the EVPN, because then I definitely know it's working. But this looks quite nice actually. I don't know why it's like keeping that selected for some reason. I feel like if I just exit VS Code, it should fix that. Let me do that. Just go out here. There we go. Okay, so this is still running. Looks good. I like this topology though. This looks nice. Although I'm not sure about the top and bottom things, because when I do want to add some external networks, it's gonna make it interesting. If I unlock that and I click edit shape, is there anything cool I can do with this? I could just make it lines, I guess. That could make more sense as well. And then a massive arrow showing, hey, there it is. Start arrow. End arrow. No arrow. That is actually it. That is it. I think I prefer that over that massive box. Edit shape, make it a line, remove end arrow. But I might make the line bigger. And like that. Yeah, I like that. So let's see, firstly, is my stuff still working? Let's get into CO1, IP neighbor print. Yes, that's the good news. Good news is our neighbor is still being learned over EVPN. And we've got cross connectivity. We can even do the MAC ping. The other cool MikroTik thing. Pinging a MAC address. Who would think that you could ping a MAC address? About my desktop wallpaper, let me just quickly go back there. I'll just close this. This wallpaper, I need to remember where I got it, to be honest. I think I just like Googled it, found it somewhere off of Google, if I'm not mistaken. But it's pretty cool. No, I'm lying. I didn't find it off Google. It's from Wallpaper Engine. I downloaded Wallpaper Engine off of Steam. And it's got like a ton of cool wallpapers. So you can see it's like animated even. I'm not going to update anything now. Like there's my two wallpapers. Like both of them's pretty good. There you see I've got like stuff like Gothic and whatnot, some old stuff on here. I like it, it's pretty cool. The Guts one is also pretty nice. So I might recommend getting Wallpaper Engine as well for these animated wallpapers, but it feels a bit weird. Like I'm not sure if you can get it. I think it's for free on Steam almost, if I'm not mistaken. Wallpaper Engine. Just have a look quickly. Just gonna grab it on here. Wallpaper engine. No, never mind. It cost like a couple of bucks. It's on 20% discount at the moment, but it's not expensive. It's like £3.40, which I guess is like $3 about, which is not a lot of money, but I mean, for wallpaper, it still feels like a bit silly to be spending cash. But I spent it, obviously. Or maybe I got it for free, I don't know. It's been a while since I've had wallpaper engine. Anyways, let's just get back to the stream stuff. Yeah, that's true. I'm playing like some Gothic game music, and I might actually play the game tonight as well. So I've already almost been streaming 2 hours, so I might jump into the game in a little bit and just play around. I just want to make sure the lab is actually still in a functional state, which it is. So I'm happy with that. And is there anything else I maybe just want to try and bring up? I really do want to bring out a external router so we can have internet through that. But let me just show you that you can actually get internet through your containers on MikroTik quite easily. Like here's my MikroTik CEO1, and it's obviously it doesn't have any internet at the moment. That's like Google. That's legitimately Google. And if I do like a export, but this is only with Containerlab. Because what I find with the Containerlab, when you create your own CHR with VRNetlab, whenever it boots it up and it adds the IP address, it's like adding this IP, and I have no idea where it's coming from. 172.30/30, and .29 is actually like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, your hypervisor for your Dockers or something, where it's your actual machine or something like that. So all that I end up doing is, and it's the same for all of them, and it will probably be the same in your scenario as well. You'll see like an IP address like that in your CHRs that you bring up. So all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to add an IP and route out via it. So IP route add destination. Does it actually pick it up on DHCP? I just want to see IP DHCP client print. So it's searching. It hasn't actually obtained an IP address from DHCP. So this Docker IP has just like been bound to it somehow with black magic. And all I'm going to do is IP route add destination. But this is only going to work for IPv4, it seems. And the gateway is going to be 172.31.255.29. That's kind of it. If I do a ping, I can get out to Google, and I could literally put like a machine behind this, like a Linux container, and connect it up, and I'd be able to browse the internet and get to things, and it's the internet. You know, it's I can add DNS, IP DNS, add not atlas, set server 9999, ping www.google.com. Now we can get to Google, you know, all the normal stuff that people want to get to on internet. Maybe with the DNS now I can even though it's not really going to do anything if I do this. Hang on a second. Sorry, thread got really dry there. So I could even do like system package check for update, or update check for updates. And there's a new version out, 7.23.1. Is that the newest stable build? And I could set my set channel to long term. And if I check for updates, it's already on the latest long-term build, so that's fine. But yeah, but if I install the new update or reboot it, it's just going to boot up with the normal image, so it's not really, it's not like I can upgrade it. If I did want to upgrade it, and that's kind of like the other handy bit about containers and using containers is I could just load the new Docker container with the updated RouterOS version build and just change the image out for the new image, and it would use that new image, which is handy as well. Oh man, it's coffee. Right, so that is all of these devices. So, what is the time now? It's almost 10:30 my time. Oh. Alright, so I do think the title did say I'm going to do a little bit of gaming as well. And I do want to try out the Gothic and maybe make it like a stream game. There's a few games that I can make stream games as well. But Gothic 1 Remake, I think I do want to play as well and test it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to destroy the lab. And we're going to go into Gothic a bit. And then instead of hearing the nice soothing music from the playlist, which is just the game, you'll actually hear it from the game. So that's interesting. So let's just turn off our Linux machine because it is going to eat a bit of resources. And let's go into Steam quickly. Is this? No, this hasn't shut down yet. Power off. There we go. So one thing I need to figure out now is it's still playing. Oh, there we go. I can just go into my Steam library and just stop the music. Okay, so the music is stopped. I am curious to see how this will look on the stream though. So apologies if it like lags or all that stuff. They have released a few hotfixes for the game, which I saw, because I know there was a few issues with the game itself. I heard people complain a lot about the lockpicking, and even my own, like, I played it for maybe an hour and a half, and that made me create like a negative review, which I might change to a positive review depending on how the game actually plays, but it was a interesting experience. So let's quickly head in there. Let's see how does the kingdom, or not the kingdom of Martana, because this is just the Valley of Mines, how does this actually look and hold up? Okay, that's cool. I actually want to see if the intro cinematic still stutters badly, because that was one of my biggest gripes when I started this game up. The intro cinematic, it's like being in a fever dream. It's like it's like back in the early 2000s when you tried to play a game that was too much for your computer to handle and everything would just jump around. But I know my system's got enough specs for the game, and the movie was just like really bad. I don't know how they added it. Maybe they fixed it with one of those hot fixes. We'll see. I think they also changed the game to be a bit more PG-13, so to say, because when I watched the intro movie, it was, even though the old intro cinematic wasn't like hardcore or anything, but it made things look a bit more depressing, almost like the guards attack the guys from the back. But in the new game, it didn't come across as intense. Okay, well, the graphics all, I don't know, it's like high and whatever. I don't know if I need to use an upscaler. I could try and use an upscaler as well. Just help a bit with some things. Frame generation mode, auto. So let's just go new game. I just want to see does the... I'm just gonna go Gothic. I haven't played games hard mode in a long time. Like I've really just played like a normal or something. So let's go Gothic. Da da da. Close combat flow helper. I have no idea what that is. Permadeath. Permadeath. That might be an interesting thing for streams and stuff because you get gutted. You need to start over. But let's just play it. See how it actually plays. I might do permadeath stuff later. Okay, that's a lot smoother. Still looks like a fever dream though. Like, why are they fast forwarding like this? I might just turn the desktop audio up a bit because I think you guys might not really hear the audio much. Oh, but now the issue is I can't easily mute. That was pretty brutal. Wouldn't expect to see that.
The war against the orcs took its toll, and the prisoners of the realm were to pay the price. The king needed swords for his army. Every man guilty of a crime, no matter how insignificant, was forced to work in the ore mines of Corinthus. To make it impossible for them to escape, the king sent out the best magicians of the kingdom to create a magic barrier around the entire valley.
Ah, there's ours.
I was one of them. Something disturbed the delicacy.
No worries, pal. Thanks for joining. I appreciate... I do appreciate you being here. It was really nice interacting with you again. I'll definitely catch you in the next stream next week as well, I suppose. I'd like to catch you in the next stream. So have a good evening. Have a good day, night, all that stuff. See you soon.
Nobody could get out. 1 second of negligence was enough for the prisoners. Wait a second. We don't have to. The Valley of Mines was now under the control.
This game is called Gothic, but this is the Gothic remake. Like, it's one of my like ultimate top favorite. Like, I played it since I was a child, but the remake's obviously something that's new that came out quite recently. But the original Gothic came out in I think 2004, and it's really good. It's one of the best atmospheres. You know, it's just nice to be in the environment and just breathe and just relax to it, I guess.
Month after month, they brought the ore to the edge of the barrier in exchange. Until the present day,
When the cinematics finished, I might just push the audio up a bit.
he did not know, but he would change everything.
In the name of King Robar II, bearer of the scepter of Glorant, I sentence this convict.
Stop! Convict, I've got an offer to make you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire. You're wasting your time. You may choose your own reward.
I don't know the voice. I don't know if it's me or is the voice syncing completely broken.
Very well. I will take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
Like, it's really smooth, but the voice doesn't match what's happening in the scene. Or maybe it's because I'm listening to the English audio, and I know some people just play this with the German audio. Because that's what the game originally came out as, is like a German role-playing game.
ground. Get up.
Still alive?
Okay, let me just quickly turn up the audio a little bit.
I don't care who you are. You're a green blood, and I'm the guy who takes care of you lot. Let's leave it at that. Now, if you plan on staying alive in here, you should stay and chat with me for a minute so I can show you the ropes.
Oh, that's cool.
Your
Okay, this
choice,
is actually
though.
quite good with
If
the
you want to
border
run
in
off
this
towards your
window.
doom, I ain't gonna stop you. What'll it be?
What
What do I need to know about this place? We call it the Colony. We mine ore for King Robar, but I'm sure you already figured that out yourself. Well, at least us from the old camp do.
Old camp?
Yes, there are 3 camps inside the barrier. The old one, the new one, and the swamp camp. The old is the biggest, and was also the first.
Wonder, can I just use the keys 1, 2, 3 to respond? 1, tell me about the other camps.
Tell me about the other camps.
Well, I don't need
They
to.
split from the old camp to pursue their stupid
what he's
breakout
saying.
plans. The new campers, for example, work with the water mages who have convinced them they can blow up the barrier by channeling the magic of ore. They've saved up a pretty pile of nuggets for that.
And that other camp?
That would be the swamp camp. We call them the loons. They spend all day smoking swamp weed and praying to some god they believe will lead them to freedom. So far, he's been rather quiet. Honestly, don't waste your time with these fools. The barrier ain't going nowhere. That's the first lesson any freshie should get into his head.
What can you tell me about the barrier?
Other than that there's no getting through, not much.
What would happen if I tried to walk out of here?
The same that happened to the last fool who had that brilliant plan. It would hit you with a lightning bolt so nasty, even the scavengers won't touch what's left of you. Everything gets in, but nothing that lives goes out again. It's that simple.
If there's a way out of here, I'll find it.
So eager to get out of here, huh? And you only just got here.
Tell me more about the old camp.
We control the biggest mine in the valley. That makes us, or rather our leader Gomez, the biggest wolf in the cage. Control the ore, and you control the colony. Once a month, we send the king a big fat shipment, and he sends us whatever we ask for in return.
And he's okay with that?
What's he gonna do? Send his army into a dome it would never get out of again? His soldiers would desert before they did that. We have him by the balls, and he knows it. You can get your piece of the cake, too. All you have to do is join our camp.
Tell me about Gomez.
Tell me about this Gomez.
What's there to tell? He's the biggest ore baron, the boss of the old camp, and the most powerful man of the colony.
Why did you help me?
Because he needed help. If I hadn't stepped in, there's a chance Bullet and his lads would have killed you. That said, I also want to make you an offer.
I'm listening.
Yes, your little run-in with Bullet and his lads hopefully showed you that the colony is no place for lone wolves. If you want to survive, you gotta join one of the 3 camps, sooner or later. I'm here to tell you that the old camp is your best bet.
How do I get to the old
How do I
camp?
get to the old camp?
Oh, that's simple. Just follow the road down the canyon. You can't miss it. Find yourself a weapon first, though. The thoroughfares are somewhat safe, but there's plenty of wild animals roaming the area these days.
Where do I get a weapon?
Well, you can't take it from the trading post. This is old camp property. I tried the abandoned mine down the canyon, though. There's bound to be something.
Where is this Bullet now?
Probably back in the old camp. He and his lads came here to pick up the king's shipment. If you plan on taking him on, though, be careful. He's a damn good fighter.
Your guys just nearly beat me to death. Why would I join your camp?
Look, kid, I'm not gonna stand here and try to win you over. Yes, Bullet is a bastard, but in a way, what he and his guys did to you was a good lesson. Strength and reputation. Those will be your biggest assets in here, and you, as of now, have neither. So yeah, that's how it is. Just know I've been here a long time, and I'm telling you, your best chances are with us. Take it or leave it. It's all the same to me.
Say I want to join Gomez and his guys. What do I do?
Talk to the warder at the castle entrance.
I don't.
Thoris, that's his name. He decides who gets to see Gomez and who doesn't.
And then what?
You'll figure it out.
I'm pretty sure the AI stuff really messes with the graphics a bit.
I have a letter for the highest fire mage.
Like it gives it this
That's
weird
so.
graininess
Yes.
almost.
Some mage gave it
Like
to me
you can
before
see
they
when
threw me in.
they blink
Interesting.
sometimes. So I
Consider
might
yourself
turn that
lucky
off.
that the mages and I aren't on the best terms. Anyone else would have happily slit your throat for that letter. Look, most folk in here are dirt poor, and the mages are known to pay good nuggets to their helpers. So do yourself a favor and keep your mouth shut about this until you meet an actual mage. Unlikely as it is for someone in your position.
Why not?
The mages live in the old camp castle, and only Gomez's guys are allowed in there. But if you're lucky, you might run into Taurus in the outer ring. He's the only one ever leaves the castle.
I'll be going. Thanks for the help.
Don't mention it. Feel free to tag along if you want. If not, see you in the old camp. And one more thing. You can read, can't you? Take these notes. They might just keep you alive.
So that is something that's like different from normal Gothic. Is normal Gothic did not give you any type of notes to read. So there was no like help. Everything you had to figure out yourself. And to me, this is like it's fine the reading, but it always feels a bit awkward when you're having to read like, what is this? What do you do? Let's just play it a bit, but I do think I just want to see if I change the settings for the upscaler, just turn it off. Is it gonna remove that weird graininess that I see? That's actually quite badly impacted the game. Might just turn it back on. That's so weird. Yeah, that's so weird. Way smoother with the upscaling. Torch. These little guys. That's cool that you can just stomp them. Old game you had to like struggle sometimes to target them. Get some free meat and experience. And if I remember correctly, F5 should be our quick save. Yeah. Anything here? I don't think there's gonna be anything cool. Just old gold, a lockpick and all that normal stuff. Tumbler, no. I think there's a pickaxe in here. Yep. Oh, he automatically just equips that. That's interesting. Just jump up here. I think there's another pickaxe or something around here somewhere. It doesn't matter, the pickaxes. They used to just be for show. I don't know if they've improved on them, so you can actually mine things in this game. And some of these plants are also new. I don't remember Widow's Veil. Do a quick save, because I know there's a... Usually this is like the first enemy people will find. A little mole rat thing. Next to the sword. There. Somehow we defeated it. Pick up the sword, and then it's a bit better to just equip the sword. But not much better. Oh cool, looks like a little action bar, I didn't know that. And he's holding a one-handed sword with two hands, which is something they took from Gothic 1 as well. some good meat. Ah, it's cool that it shows you what how do I eat this? Just press F, I guess. Shows you how much health it will recover, which is nice. Remember this. Anything here? Some mushrooms. That looks quite nice. Very nice. What the? Are two of these birds chasing me? See what happens when we get to this birdie. Little scavenger. Free meat. And I think from when I played it the other time, there's an extra thing we can pick up here somewhere for somebody. Hunter's knife. Was that it? I don't know. Oh, hang on a second. Is this sword better than the one I've got on? Yes, it is. There we go. Just quick save again. Pull out the sword and get ready. Feels like it's got the same kind of combo thing as the first Gothic, where if you swing at certain times, it's also a bit more proficient than just spamming the button. Or I might just be lucky, I don't know. Take a walk down. That's the old camp. And that pop-up freaked me out a little bit. God moves a bit weird. Sorry, I'm doing that on purpose. It's just getting flashbacks from Mass Effect Andromeda. Right, there's some hunter dudes here. I think the one guy gives us a reward for his
Oi, you
knife.
there?
What?
You're a freshie, ain't you? I want to warn you. If you keep going this way, you're going
Oh, that's also
enter
the
a
thing. They like
hunting
introduced
grounds.
a lot of new terms.
You
I don't
wanna do
remember
that.
anybody calling anybody freshie in the old
What
game.
game do you hunt?
Mostly scavengers. Got a lot of meat on them, these buggers. And they're easy prey. If you know how.
Well, how's that?
That's me mate Drax here. He's better at explaining that sort of thing.
What's so dangerous about your hunting grounds?
Green through and through, eh? Not all the regions in the colony are the same. You gotta watch where you're going. The main roads between the camps are mostly safe. But even there, you might run into wolves, and a wet lettuce like you will be easy pickings for them. And yeah, that's exactly what you are right now. At least till you sort yourself out with some weapons and armor.
Tell me more about the regions of the colony.
I look like a guide to you or what? But fine, you seem decent enough. First things first, if you want to travel, get yourself a map. It'll help you suss out a proper road from a dead end. There's plenty of those in the colony, and they often lead you into places with beasts way out of your league. Also, do yourself a favour and avoid the old ruins. There's loads of them in this place, and most of them are old fortresses from the First Orc War or abandoned orc huts.
There's orcs in here?
Yeah, though they mostly stick to their enclave. Anyway, like I was saying, steer clear of the ruins, especially after dark. Oh, and last but not least, stay the hell out of the forest.
Thanks for the advice.
Sure you do, but don't go around thinking everyone's this friendly. There ain't much to loot from a freshie like you, but there's some folk in here who'd turn you into meat bug mush for a fucking pickaxe.
I'll keep that in mind.
I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the game now, and I'm actually going to... Great game, I liked it a lot. Playing as a child, teenager, RPGs are the best because of the changes. Greetings from Ecuador. Greetings, mate. Greetings. Thanks for tuning in. I think you might have joined me at just the wrong moment as well, because I'm going to sign off now as well, because I've got a bit of a cough as well, and I can feel it's just like flaring up a lot now. So thanks for the people that did tune in tonight. I'll definitely have another stream next week, probably more Containerlab, and I'll definitely see if I'll continue this game in the stream as well, or I might just set up separate stream for it. But really, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in another video or stream really soon. Have a good evening or day. See ya.